Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Hopped Up Beer Review. Today we are drinking Coconut Hiwa out of Maui Brewing Company from Kihei, Hawaii. Aloha.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer we are drinking and reviewing. And also, sometimes we dress up in Hawaiian shirts. Be sure to like, subscribe, and cheers that notification bell, as well as check us out on social media. I've got Andy in the attic in a Hawaiian shirt. I've got Jay. I am Ben. What are we drinking today?
The reason we are dressed in Hawaiian shirts, unlike Ben, who's in some sort of fall
I
traditional
think he's
Tommy
like a
Bahama.
Vermont shirt.
I don't understand that, but it
Yeah.
has leaves on it, so
A
he claims it's okay.
Montpelier shirt.
We're going to Maui Brewing Company. This is out of the island of Maui. It's the Coconut Hiwa, and it's a porter, and we're going to try it, and we're going now.
You know that Maui was originally named Montpelier, right? I mean, you know that.
Do I?
Oh, fair warning. This has been pressurized 4 times.
All good. Although I can't seem to pour.
Yeah, I mean, it's been on multiple flights. And the ironic thing is, I get through all the flights, get back here, and I can find this locally, which is a great thing.
Well, you saved on shipping costs, right?
I did, and I got to visit the actual brewery. So
There you go.
it's a cool place. If anybody ever gets a chance, I highly recommend they visit. So I think I did a short from there, and that got
Yeah, we
posted.
didn't do a short from there because we didn't get to go. Corporate didn't send us.
Yeah, yeah. I found Mecca in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So
Cheers, mates.
All right, gentlemen.
cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Well, isn't that fun?
It's nice, yeah.
So the Coconut Hiwa, as the name says, has toasted coconut and hints of mocha in it. 6% ABV, 30 IBUs. Maui Brewing Company, established in 2005. It's a regional brewery. It is Hawaii's largest craft brewery. And
All of Hawaii's.
they said craft brewery.
Okay. So they're basically saying Kona's not craft.
That's when I looked at it a couple times. I want to make sure because of Kona and their
macro.
Yeah, and their range of distribution. So they so in the same sentence. So I'm wondering if it's legally because it was all in the same sentence. It said Hawaii's largest craft brewery operating 100% on Hawaii or in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
So we know Kona is other parts of the U.S.
Here, there, and everywhere. Yeah.
So I'd be interested to see if that's a true statement moving forward, given the distribution I've seen of late in the last year or so. Because I picked this up obviously on island, and coming back in the last 2-3 months, I've seen a wide distribution of several of their beers, and knowing that would be extremely difficult and pricey, I do think that they probably invested in CONUS, Continental US, to do some sort of brewing. And
is that island lingo? Did you pick that up?
That's military lingo, actually.
Okay, I was like, those dang conies.
No, that's military lingo. So being from North Alabama and local to the aerospace and defense community, when you talk anything in the continental US, that's CONUS, and things that are outside, it's Oconus to include Alaska and Hawaii.
Well, I mean, today's standard, you have to do over 6 million barrels a year to be macro. I don't see that happening. Although they're based in Maui, in the city of Kihei. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Sorry if I'm not. So Maui is this island highlighted in white there.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have restaurants in Lahaina, also in Maui, but also in Kailua, which is on Oahu, and Waikiki, also on Oahu. And if you've listened to our other shows, we covered Waikiki Brewing, their blonde ale, which was on the island, the greatest northwest where Honolulu is.
Yeah, and Waikiki also has a tap room, small brewery in Maui, if I'm not mistaken, where I was down there on the coast, and I can't recall the exact name, but it's on the way. You go past Maui Brewing down the highway, and you turn right down towards the beaches and the resort areas. So,
well, did you have this in your time down there? Out there?
I have had this, yes.
Over there.
Mm-hmm.
You have, okay.
Well,
I guess you go last.
I've had it there, here, in yonder.
So since I'm the captain, Ben, you go first.
Well, I was going to say, who here has been to Maui?
Oh, you're pulling the Maui card?
What part of Maui though, Ben? I mean,
the whole thing.
How local
I drove
did you
around the
get?
whole thing.
Yeah.
We rented a car and actually drove on the area where they tell you not to drive.
so did you go up to Halilaka?
We went up to the north part of the island and went around the whole north part where you're not supposed to drive a rental car because it's a one-lane road.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we actually went there. We went to Lahaina, which we actually absolutely loved. Lahaina's a cool little spot.
It's a resort area. You know, it's a pretty area, absolutely.
Yep. And we,
anyway. Did you make your way over to Kunalehi's and knock on the door of Smoky Pete's and say aloha?
No, but I know you haven't done that either. So,
well, then you're not.
Why don't you go first?
You're not a local.
Yeah. So the area I was thinking of.
Hope I didn't offend anybody by whatever I just made up.
Yeah.
Not that anybody's watching because their only fan probably is not on Hawaii.
Yeah, right. Lahaina, and then you have Halilaka is the national park where you're talking about the volcano where you probably drove around, Ben. And then Kihei is where the brewery is. It's on its way down to Wailea. Wailea.
Yeah.
Wailea. That's where most of the resort area I was. Yeah. So
yeah. Sorry to interrupt you. I was going to say that, we actually, if you go back and look at some of our videos from our Brewers Advent calendar, we had a gentleman that was in Hawaii that was commenting on a few of those. So, if he watches, if you're watching this, and I apologize, I'm blanking on your name right now off the top. But yeah, I mean, put us in our place because I'm sure we're butchering names left and right. No,
the big road I think you were on was that one that they call the Road to Hana.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So that's where a lot of people they'll actually ride their bikes. They rent bikes and you can ride them down it.
Yeah.
And I just didn't have enough time to make it up there. I was basically working almost the entire time I was there, so I did not really get to enjoy the islands as much as I'd like to.
Wow. Yeah, to have to go for work, right? I mean, gosh.
I feel like kindred spirits since I have vacationed down on the beaches of southern Alabama. So, I mean, pretty much the same level
All right,
now.
Andy, you're up. Go.
Okay.
I will say I do love the Gulf Coast. That's one of my favorites with the white powder sand beaches.
Third
And
Coast, best sand.
it's hard to beat that. I mean, I grew up then in that, going there every year, and there's some great breweries down that way and things that great restaurants. So yeah, I am partial to that as well, Andy. Hawaii to me was not overly impressive.
Boo this Jay.
Well,
Go, Andy.
but they have a great beer coming out of there because I like this. I like porters, like stouts, I like a good dark beer, and this doesn't disappoint. Um, Great flavor. I like the little bit of. I can't get as. I get a little bit of coconut. I wish I could get more. Could get more
Right.
because I like the coconut flavor, but I can get the mocha, a little chocolatey. Um, Not too sweet, not too heavy tasting. It's rough. It's in the eights for me, but I'm like on the edge, 8.5 or 8. It's just really good. I'm gonna give it an 8.5. There's not a lot of porters that I'll go quite that high. This one's really good. Good dessert beer. And I don't feel as heavy or too
Yep.
sweet and not too full from it.
Well, it helps. I mean, it's a 6%, so
Mhm.
it's not overly filling, and yeah, it's more easy drinking to me. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Ben.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. 8.5 was my number because I don't get, and I agree with you. I don't get coconut honestly out of it at all, and that's okay. I love coconut flavor, so was kind of excited to see what that was going to come through like, in this beer, but I don't pull it out at all. But from a porter standpoint, I think it's really really good. It's got that flavor that you want. Yeah, I'm glad to hear the distribution is getting bigger because this would be one that if I went to the store, I would definitely want to grab an extra one or two of to have, to mix in the rotation because you don't. I just we talked about this kind of the other day about some of the beer styles that we kind of get in this area. We don't get a lot of porters. Um, and this would be one that you could definitely grab and add to your beer fridge and really enjoy uh from time to time, and excited to hear that distribution is getting bigger, so hopefully we can get it more often. So 8.5, very, very
Yeah.
good.
And it should keep. You could just put
Yeah,
it in the back of the fridge
porters are
and
good.
just keep
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So corporate, send Jay back to Hawaii so he can get some more
No.
to bring back.
I go right down the road and I can get you a case of this beer. So that's the beauty of it today. I mean, I was in the bottle shop yesterday, and I told you guys I dropped a nice bit of coin in there, and it's funny you should
Coin?
bring that up. Yeah, dollars.
Beer, you can get beer with Bitcoin?
No, but it's funny you should bring that up. If I look through the beers that I bought yesterday, this box of singles, the majority of them were probably stouts and porters, which
Wait,
this time
wait
of
a minute,
year,
wait a minute. Who are you? Who is this on this
right,
show?
right,
Wait,
yeah, it's kind of
Where? What have you
surprising,
done
but
with Jay? Where is
yeah,
he?
yeah. I mean, there was a couple sours, there were a couple IPAs in there.
Because he had all the other IPAs and he wanted to try something new. That's the only reason.
Yeah, I mean that's part of it, but there were some
Yeah, there you
others that I love for us to try, and I'll try and get those introduced over
Because they
time.
told him, Jay, you drank us out of IPAs. This is all we got are stouts and porters. So
But I agree with you guys. I mean, this place was awesome. I visiting their brewery, it's a massive operation, beautiful brewery, beautiful organization. There was a party one night there that I went to, and then I went back to the brewery on the way to the airport and picked this up and ate dinner there. They have good food as well. Highly recommend if you're out there, go buy. If not, the distribution, like I said, I can find it in North Alabama today, so it should be all over the continental US. I highly recommend this. They have several others. Big Swell is one of their others, but I saw probably 3 or 4 of their beers in the bottle shop this week. So completely agree with you guys. It's an easy drinking porter, in my opinion. It's not overpowering. It's got the mocha flavors. I do pick up the coconut, and I agree with you. I mean, I would have liked to have had just a little bit more coconut, but it doesn't take away. I mean, I give this an 8 all day long. So it's good
Yeah,
beer.
I think when you go in and you grab a beer that has coconut in the name,
You expect it to flavor.
you want to, yeah, you want to. I mean, and I think back to having banana beer, and you really want, if they're gonna put it on the label, you really should have it, right? So that's
Oh, you got it.
absolutely, you got it with banana beer. I don't get it so much with the coconut, but but that's okay. It's still a great porter, as you mentioned, Jay.
It is, and I'm glad that we all got to have it. It's one I like to see the distribution the way it's going, because I think Maui Brewing is highly successful, and they need to continue to go across the U.S. Similar to Kona. I mean, Kona's kind of set that model. Go forth and distribute and be out across the U.S. So
Yeah, that's an interesting thought, in the sense that, I mean, you think if Kona's obviously huge, and then if Maui kind of follows that path, you think about a state as small as Hawaii having 2 breweries that are across the entire U.S.
that's impressive.
I mean, think about Mississippi breweries as an example. I mean, we've got a couple here that are big in the area, but
They're regional.
nothing
They're not
nothing
anything.
nationwide.
Yeah. I mean, you
So,
got to look to other states like California or Michigan or others that are going to have ones that are nationwide, or up Delaware or Boston, somewhere else.
I guess what I'm getting at is, for the population size,
Yeah.
having 2 big breweries is pretty impressive. That is going to give us an 8.3 for the Coconut Hiwa Porter, Maui Brewing Company. It sounds like the distribution is coming along. If you see this one in the wild, grab it. It is a really good porter. You should definitely give it a shot. Let us know what you think about it if you've had it. And we would love to hear that feedback as well. Be sure to like, subscribe, cheers that notification bell. Check us out on social medias, and come say aloha in Discord. We would love to have you do that, and come join us there. Chat with us on a daily, weekly, hourly basis, because that's where we're at. When we're not doing the show, we're on Discord. For Andy in the attic and Jay, I am Ben. Aloha and cheers, mates.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Cheers, mates. Done.
Go to bed, Andy.